Hello, all. This is, I have got to turn off the microphone on this. Okay, no. Trying to do an overhead. Um, Whoops. Well, that makes things fun. Okay, yay. The pleasures of live broadcasting. And no, I want but I'm sorry, I have an echo in my ears. Um, that's my Wi-Fi, not my son. Okay. No, that's still not working. Whatever. Moving forward, because this is what we have to do. So, one of the things that the thing, not one of, this is so much fun. There we go. So, I need to reverse this. It will all make sense. All right. Well, all right. Hello. It is Saturday, May 14th, and I am going to be working. Okay, this echo is really bothering. Let's see. How can I do the audio? And okay. Nope. Hopefully. Oh, that's part of the problem. Okay. I think I have this fixed. I hope so. I had to turn off the volume on the phone, which will be interesting. So, moving forward, thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with me. As I get better, hopefully, at these live streams, I will get these tech issues worked out. But the goal for today is going through and creating some routines and making a list. So I've got two lists I'm going to be doing. The one is for day job work and writing, and then the other is going to be kind of a personal list. And this sheet that I'm using is from Sarah Cannon's HB90 planner. And the reason she created this was to get a list kind of like almost of the admin tasks that you do as through the course of being a creative and being a writer. Since that's what she originally created HB90 for, was for writers, but a lot of other creatives have found this particular course useful. And I decided, since I had access to the sheet and it lays out the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the quarterly, and yearly already, why not make use of this? And I don't have to create my own little sheet, and it's all good. So, sorry, moving my sweater out of the way. And I really like the sheet. I don't know if you can tell on the screen, especially since this is upside down and backwards, but almost like Dancing Like Ginger Rogers with Fred Astaire. The she's got a little line here, a little pink line, and that's to that's part of the module that this particular exercise is in, and that's beginning to estimate the time it takes you to do certain tasks. So if you are not familiar with HB90, it's what I call a project management goal setting system, and I really enjoy it. I have found it to be extremely useful. I am not bothering with estimating time with this particular set of routines. I just wanted to have the breakout of the time periods, frankly. And so, but I highly recommend the program if you're at all interested in doing kind of more project management goal setting, especially if you are creative and especially if you are a writer. I'll have the information in the description below after the live cast. So, like I said, I've got the two different categories for work writing and personal. And you know what? I keep referring to my overhead. And how about I actually add it to the stream so that you can see? Um, and I really do apologize that this is upside down. I'm not quite sure. Let me try one more thing. I apologize. I have this sorted out. And there's my phone. You get to see all of the fun of my apartment. All right. Did that work? No, that completely killed it. Okay. Let me remove this really briefly while I sort out what's going on. Oh, I switched websites on the browser. There we go. Life. Oh, the joys, the joys. Well, I don't know why that's sideways instead of being upside down, but you have a even better idea as to how this is going to look. So I'm going to start with the personal routines, and just as simple as AM meds, PM meds, shower, and honestly, the daily hygiene stuff for the most part. Brush teeth. Um, Now, I'm going to put this on daily, even though it's not every single day that I'm going to try to attempt to do this. But, and that's do my under desk elliptical. And I'm going to mark that once I finish spelling, call times 3. I only want to do it 3 times per week, but it's not necessarily a weekly task or this. I feel better marking it under daily. Um, let's see, under desk elliptical. I'm trying to think of if there are more routines that I want to be doing, but for now, I'm just going to leave this as is. Uh, let's see, weekly. Um, let's see, personal. Maybe I also want to do weekly. I want to just do once a week. So I'm going to do walk outside and preferably to work, but this is not a work task, which is why it's going here. Let's see, what else? This is kind of like I've been thinking about a lot of these, but honestly, not writing them down. That's part of why I decided to do this live stream was because I'm like, oh, hey, this is something I want to do, and this is a good chance for me to do it and have accountability with other people. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. I will see them on StreamYard and the back end and may even pop them up on screen. So I'm really glad that you are all here. Let's see, monthly personal tasks. Well, I don't have a car, so yeah, and that. So that honestly, car maintenance it was a huge part of my life when I had a car, and I'm so glad I don't have to worry about that now. Um, let's see, monthly. Oh, meal with cousin. I recently had a cousin move to near where I live, so I am very happy. I'm gonna try and get that done. Oh, I just have weekly FaceTime with family. And that's the thing is like as you like write one thing down, you'll probably think of something else for a different category, and that's fine. Um, quarterly. I can't think of quarterly right off the top of my head. Oh, spa treatment. I want to try to do quarterly spa treatment just to help reduce stress and other stuff. Yearly would be annual physical and dental visit. Do that at least twice for cleanings, but with my teeth, I tend to see my dentist more frequently. Let's see. Kind of at a loss at this point, which is a little frustrating because these are like almost the basics in terms of maintaining your life. Not necessarily spa treatment, but like the like basic, like I say, daily hygiene stuff. And One of the reasons, and I said this in the description, but I haven't said this on the live yet, was the fact that I recently started going back to the office 2 times per week, and it has been, honestly more disruptive than I thought it would be for dealing with my daily routines, and even going home, the transition to working full-time from home when I hadn't been working at home at all was a bit disruptive, and then add into that aspect, that time period, the fact that I went back to Chicago for 10 months. I I did okay with the transition to home the first time around, but the transition to Chicago and then the transition back to DC and now the transition back to the office, I have not been dealing with the transitions as well as I would have liked. So that's one of the reasons why I want to like kind of like really get myself back into here are routines that will help me, and they are intended to help like honestly with my mental health more than anything else, but also feelings of stability that I crave and I do well with. I am somebody who actually does very well with adapting to changing situations, but there comes a point when you have adapted too much and you are fried. And honestly, I hit that fried out point within the last month, and it was not pretty, it was not fun, and I want to minimize the happenings of that experiencing that fried out point, as well as, I don't want that experience to lead back into burnout for various reasons. So these are routines that I'm hoping will help set me up for, yes, I can still adapt to things as they change, and I'm not going to feel like my reserves are totally taken out every time I have to adapt to new things. So, all right, let's go into the work and writing. So, I'm not going to get as specific with day job work. Um, there are things that I want to like have noted, but at the same time, I also don't want to get too specific since that's the day job, and I don't like necessarily talking about the day job too much here. So let me do section meeting. Let's see. I have a division meeting. This is the fun thing. I have a division meeting weekly as well as a division meeting monthly. Um, I appreciate the head of our division actually making a point to keep things as short as possible in all meetings that we attend. Meeting, and then I also have um, I have another. I'm just going to call it an operations meeting. And this thing is bi-weekly. So, uh, daily work I actually don't really have to do, but I do want to, for writing, I want to note down, I want to write 5 days per week. And let's see, or in writing can also be editing, whatever stage of the project that I am in at that point. But right for now is perfectly fine. Um, monthly, to KM for my alter ego newsletter. Let's see, taxes. Oh, it can never forget about taxes. Oh, and speaking of taxes, let's see, how do I want to note this down? Uh, income expense reports. And that's just updating my spreadsheets that I use to compile my taxes at the end of the year. Let's see. Oh, also monthly, I have a mastermind. And honestly, I say monthly because we are usually monthly, but there are some months that our schedules don't always combine, and this is a mastermind with other authors. So, for example, in June, one of the people in the group is she's she is of a level where her publisher sends her out either in person or virtually on various things, promotion related things for her new releases. So in June, she has a new release coming up. And so her schedule is just very wonky because she doesn't know exactly when she's going to have something to do for the promotion of this new release. So we've decided between that and then another member of the group is going to be traveling for an extended period of time. We just decided, you know what, we will go ahead and skip June and we'll just go ahead and meet in July. So it is mostly monthly, but again, schedules. Let's see. I don't think there's anything quarterly at this point. Normally, I would say pay taxes, but I am not currently publishing at a level where I need to pay quarterly taxes. That is a goal one day. That is a very serious goal for me one day with my writing. Business goals. It's good to have business goals. Let me think. I think that's it. You know, it's kind of weird that this didn't take as long as I thought it would. But what I'm going to do now is, where did I pop my, oh, right there under the, so I'm going to take my, what are these called? Zig Clean Color Dot markers, especially the ones that are color coded or currently color coded to the Moxie Life. And I'm just going to go ahead and mark these. And since work writing is both falls into the work and learning aspect, I'm going to use the pink for my writing. So I'm going to do, oh, I can't spell, meetin. Taxes are like basically both, but I'm going to do this, 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 and then red for the day job. One, do that. It's actually green for finance, but whatever. Like there is daily stuff that I do in the course of the job. Oh, I just remembered a quarterly thing that I do. Working group. And that is regular red. All right, there we go. So go ahead and show what that looks like mostly. Where's my camera? There's my camera. So it's fairly simple. I actually am going to go ahead and do this too. Good old taxes. I actually have multiple doctors, but yeah. Oh, I forget. Monthly. Send money to savings and really the budget mom. All right, that's what I get for leaving that out. Oh, weekly chores. I knew things would come to me as I went through this. Hey, Tracy. Oh, this is a good question. So, what about like spring, summer, winter setup? Honestly, this is a good thing that a lot of people do. I have not really had a routine for doing this, partially because of storage reasons. My previous apartment, um, I just I eventually had an extra storage unit, but that was stuff that I really truly didn't use. I had stuff down there pretty much the entire time I had the storage unit. So that's a routine that I don't know how I would do since I tend to have my stuff out year round. Like all of my summer and winter clothes pretty much live together in the same space. Um, and I live in an apartment, so I don't have to manage things like changing the filters in my HVAC unit or anything like that. So um, this is where you taking into account what your living situation is. So if you did have to worry about home maintenance, I would have a lot more on here, frankly. And I was just thinking, I'm like, wait, there's like weekly chores and stuff that I do have to do. And actually, before I forget those, since they are sticking in the top of my mind, fridge clean out, weekly trash, recycling, bathroom, sheets, and then laundry. My other laundry I do as needed. Yeah, so I'm gonna mark those with 1, 2, 3, 4. Start marking the family and weekly meal plan. It is, and then just weekly planning in general. I always tend to forget this because, um, again, trying to sort out what the situation is with the day job. We used to be able to work more easily on weekends, and that is no longer the case. So that's health and wellness side. That's also technically health and wellness. Forgot to spot treatments personal. Annual physical, dental. Oh, let's see. I think part of this is also going to be prioritizing what I can start doing on a regular basis and getting those routines going. So, um, figuring out how to track those, like what I'm going to be rewarded with, not necessarily by like, oh, if I do this every single day, I'm going to like get a little prize or like buy a new like music track or something like that. Um, I know that there's probably more financial stuff that I should put on here, but I will hold off. These are the big basics. Um, yeah, my brain is honestly, it's been today. Today was an interesting day. It was a really good day because I went to. Oh, Tracy's got some really good ideas. Um, And so I put there to spark more ideas, which you did. So thank you very, very much. Spring cleaning and big purge. And on Fridays, we try to eat the leftovers, clean out all the fridge, last chance food. That is a good idea. I try to meal plan so that I do that on a weekly basis in terms of not having too many leftovers, just because I know I tend to not actually eat as many leftovers as I think I'm going to eat. And then in winter, check for batteries, candles, storms, etc. Oh, that's a really good one. Um, yeah, so I've not been much of a routine person per se. I try to, I like aspire to have regular routines, but with living on my own, frankly, I have not been the best because I just kind of like float and react to things as they come. Which again, not bad, but also maybe not the greatest for certain things. So, but I am feeling like I'm finally kind of like at a point in both my mental health journey, my general life journey, and my work and writing journeys right now that I need to get into some sets of routines that I think will be very, very helpful. in, like I said, so that I don't burn out again because I'm just overloaded with having too much to do. Um, because frankly, this past week, there was a lot of changes to my schedule that I was not anticipating. And that's why I'm so glad that today has been a relatively quiet day. I got to do a really interesting writing workshop, masterclass, um, through an organization that I'm a member of, and it was with two people that I've known socially for a number of years, and so it was really great to actually sit in on these these classes that I've heard them talk about. Um, and then I didn't have that many expectations for myself today just because I've had so many things happening the last couple of days, especially with dealing with those doctors I mentioned that I see in addition to my regular doctor. Um, that I was just truly not expecting to have all of this stuff happening and having to be dealt with. But was able to get things dealt with, and I am on the mend for certain things, and I have a plan of action for other things. Um, and so I'm feeling like I'm at a good point mentally to try to start doing more with creating routines. And honestly, the first step for me was getting a list like this all together. So I thank all of you for being a part of this. So it's coming up on 5:30. I want to keep this to half an hour just because of general light conditions as well as sitting on the floor. One of the things I did in the last couple of weeks after the last live was that I realized that sitting on the concrete floor of my apartment was not the business, as Cindy Gunter Baldo would say. So I got a nice little floor cushion that has been perfect, but I also don't want to sit for too long on the concrete floor. um, so yes, there are there's a start, and I hope this gives you an idea of how to start. Since I use the Moxie Life system, that's why I use the color coding that I did, because this is something that I can start incorporating into my goal setting for the rest of the year. But honestly, however you want to do routines is going to be what's best for you, because you have to figure out what's going to actually get you interested in doing the routines and creating the routines and creating these habits for your daily life. So thank you all so much for joining me. Tracy, thank you for those absolutely wonderful ideas and the prompts, because they were absolutely perfect. Um, if you have any questions about any of these, please drop a question in the comments. And I always respond to all the comments. And I really appreciate those of you who do leave comments. And let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to do on a future live, because the lives are pretty much how I'm going to be interacting on YouTube these days, partially because with the new work routine, editing really is too much for me at this point. I can commit to a half hour of tech interesting lives. Editing with the way I edit, that I don't have the time for that these days. So I can commit to doing a live. I cannot commit to editing. So that's why you get the lives. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you all so much for joining me today and helping me work through the start of ideas for routines I want to incorporate into my life. I hope this gives you some ideas for yourself, and I hope you have a great day. So, yeah, I'm just trying to remember, how do I close out videos again? Basically, thank you so much. Subscribe if you want to get notified about lives in the future, and have a wonderful day. And may all your dreams be ruby dreams as I knock. Let me just go ahead and remove this right now. May all your dreams be ruby dreams, and have a fabulous day. Whoops, and broadcast.